Okay, so let's start with your name, age, and where you were born, please.
Okay, so my name is Leah, also known as Lyriqe or Al. I am 29 years old and I was born in Handsworth, Birmingham.
Okay. What do you do for a living?
I'm a singer, songwriter, producer and sound engineer.
Nice. How did you get into the arts?
I was born into the arts, to be honest.
Okay.
I've been on stage since I was 4. My older sister, is a singer as well. So when she started doing like talent shows and things like that, one of the times she forgot the words to I Believe I Can Fly, and I ran up there at my little 4-year-old self and started singing, and everyone was like, oh my gosh, Leah can sing too. So from there, I've just been on stage pretty much ever since. Gone from there.
Wicked. You love it, yeah.
I can't do anything else. There's nothing on this planet that I could put all the time and energy into the same way I do music. Like, it's beautiful.
So, what type of music do you create?
I make R&B, soul, jazz, a little bit of hip hop, but mostly I just kind of exist in the R&B space.
Okay, nice. What's your inspirations?
The best of the best. Mariah, Whitney, Janet, Toni Braxton, like those big powerhouse singers that wrote or sang some really beautifully written songs are the people that I really take a lot of inspiration from. Newer people would be like Anderson .Paak, Tyler the Creator, but those are for the like lack of shame. They're just shameless people that will just make,
especially Tyler.
Yeah, especially Tyler. I love Tyler. Doechie's another one, Doja Cat as well. Just people who are so unapologetically themselves. I want to be able to lean into that a lot more.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Nice. So, what inspires you to create?
Everyday life, and I'm not good at emotions, like talking about emotions and stuff. So I started journaling when I was really young, and then from journaling to poetry, which was awful. Like, I'm really not good at poetry. And then started writing songs when I was like 10, 11. And from there, I've just never stopped putting like how I feel into a musical sense instead.
Clicked with R&B.
Yeah, I grew up listening
lyrics,
to...
rather.
Well, yeah, with lyrics mostly, because we grew up listening to a lot of soul, a lot of country music as well. And country music, some of the like best lyrically written music that's you can even look at. So just hearing the way that people could like explain their emotions in all of the different metaphors and stuff, it's like magic. So yeah, that's what I felt.
Do you think that's what music is, magic?
Absolutely. Like, that is the true universal language. They always say it's maths, but it's music. You can hear just notes and it evokes feeling in ways that words can't. So yeah, music is definitely magical, frequencies and all of that stuff as well.
Elaborate, tell me more.
So I'm big in like science, to be honest. I'm like a bit of a science nerd. So when we think about quantum theory and frequencies and all of that, like really in-depth, what people would be like hoo-ha and whatever else. Yeah, music has all the different frequencies that they're like healing frequencies. You can play something that's really dark and will affect someone in a dark way just because of the frequency of the notes, and each note exists in its own frequency. It's just really cool stuff. Like, it's really, really interesting to me. Yeah,
I didn't think I'd come here for a conversation about that. It is very interesting. Very interesting. So, are your parents artistic as well?
They were. I lost both my parents. So it's all right. It happens. But both of them were both very creative and really, really like smart. They were really into learning. So my dad was like the person who would come in and put a documentary on, and then you'd watch several documentaries about gold or like fish, just the most random stuff you could imagine. My mum used to teach and she worked with neurodiverse children. So being neurodiverse myself, it was helpful, like growing up with parents who really kind of just left us to be absolutely like crazy. They'd let us create. They'd, like, my table's got paint all over it because I'm the same with my daughter. Like, just create and do what you need to do, because there's no reason to like stifle that at any point. So
I agree.
Yeah, they really instilled that into all of us, all my siblings.
Do you think creativity is good for us?
I think it's necessary. I think a lot of the time, especially as you get older, you get the imagination like knocked out of you. You're consistently told to focus, get your head out of the clouds and all of that other stuff. And it literally stops you from being able to think outside the box or to see the world for what it actually is. Like, we live in the simulation, as people like to call it, but we live in a system that is consistently driving us into like normality. They want everyone to be like little robotic brick houses, robotic, and every house is built the same and everything's the same color, and it's cool to be like a certain aesthetic nowadays. And being creative breaks you out of these molds. It forces you to see more and feel more, be more. Like, that is the true magic of humanity, I think. But we take it too far because we love to innovate to our own detriment. So, yeah.
What do you think that innovation is our detriment?
Absolutely. I think fear is our detriment, and I think that we innovate out of fear more so than out of creativity. Even down to the way we live in houses with heating, and the way that we've got stores that are full of food. Like, it's not natural. That's not the way that we are supposed to live. We're supposed to go outside, pick a fruit, hope it don't kill ya. Like, that's actually the normal way of life. So, I think it's the fact that we are so scared of the elements. We're so scared of the world that we've done everything in our power to make things easy and safe, to the point where we couldn't now just go outside and live. If everything fell apart, we wouldn't know what to do, or a lot of people wouldn't anyway.
You think that's intentional?
1000%. 1000%. If we want to get into all of that, it's definitely intentional. That's something that whoever they are, have put into place because it's easier for them for whatever reason. Because I don't understand the full depths of it. Like, money is not real. So if money is not real, then why would you even bother trying to be a billionaire? What business? What? It doesn't make any sense, because the thing that you are persecuting people for doesn't exist. It's backed on nothing. So
this is why one of my questions about your artistry is, if you could only gain one thing, be it money or influence, what would you want? Influence
1000%, because I want to be able to speak to people like this, literally like this. I feel like there is an assumption that musicians are either really like depressed, which a lot of us are because the world is crazy, or like just in it for the money. They just want to get famous and blah blah blah. But it's like our responsibility as creatives to be able to communicate the truths of the world and to actually try to inspire people to change what they don't like, even if it's, I don't like the state of the music industry. So what I do is work with women and queer people so that they can have a safe space to work, because music hasn't been safe for me, and that's my way of being the change I want to see, because I can't like overthrow the government. So I can overthrow the music industry instead. So
it's a little bit
just what you can do, and if you do one thing, someone else might be inspired to do their thing, and then we'll all slowly but surely like pay it forward and eventually fix something.
I think that's what it's more about than the monetary value, personally. Yeah. That's why I always ask that question. Mm-hmm. Some people don't answer it at all. They just say neither or neither or. But some people answer money. Well, more than most answer with money. Really? Yeah, and I think
that's sad.
Yeah.
I would like to think that more people would understand the power of influence, but I think at the same time, the realities of the world are so in your face all the time. Having bills paid and making sure that you can put food on the table is so much more prevalent than trying to make sure that there's not a war. That's just how most people are thinking about their own small bubble.
The minutiae.
Yeah, exactly. But when they figure that out, they can start looking outwards. So I think everyone gets to the point. If you asked me 4 years ago, I would have been like, give me the money now, I'll slap anyone for that million. But like, now I'm just like, for what? Because if I got £1 million today, it wouldn't be going into my pocket. It wouldn't be something that I'm like, okay, this million is for me and my daughter. It would be like, okay, I'm going to take this portion for me and what I want to do, and the other portion is going to go into creating the thing that I need to create for the community and for the wider community and eventually the world. Yeah, that's not everyone's portion, I guess. So
do you think we need more inspiration in our communities?
1,000,000%. We need more inspiration. We need more people who aren't afraid to talk. We need more people who are honest about the realities of the industries they work in, whether it's music or being an influencer or anything that a lot of the young people nowadays look at and they're like, oh, that's a job, that's an easy way up. These are really difficult and sometimes dangerous industries to work in, and I think it's time that a lot of us started telling the truth about what's going on.
So what's in what ways has it been dangerous for you?
For me, I have been in music since I was a child, like I said, so I've had experiences in the studio where there's just grown men, too many men, and the way that they will interact with a young beautiful woman is not often in a professional manner. Like, so I've had enough of those experiences myself to last a lifetime, and so have a lot of the women that I've met or worked with along the way. And there's a lot of women who've just given up completely on doing music because they can't find somewhere that they feel safe to just go and record a song or ask someone the questions, because people will tell you, oh, don't worry, I got you, just give me this and I got you. And then I've had 3 EPs deleted by 3 different men who were upset because I didn't give in to their advances or because I broke their heart. And I'm like, well,
so I just came here to... a lot of men are using this to their advantage?
I think a lot of people come into it with good intention. Some people do come in with the sole intention of knowing that they can get girls in the studio, because I've heard that come out of people's mouths, like, I knew girls would come studio, so da 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 da. But I think as you get more like into the industry and certain things get normalized around you, you don't realize that you're doing it. I think that kind of happens a lot with men being like, oh yeah, come to the studio, but then you get in and they've got 17 of the mandem there, everyone's smoking, there's 4 bottles, and you're the only girl in the room, and you're like, okay, well, I came to record, and nobody clicks the R, at no point nobody presses the button, and you're just sitting there now, dressed all pretty to be in the studio, feeling very uncomfortable because there's a bunch of grown men trying to like talk to you or touch you or whatever. It's definitely something that I think TV has a lot to do with as well. If you watch like a documentary of famous people in the studio, a lot of the time you see like Tupac was in there with all the mandem, and there's 7 pizza boxes and everyone's drunk and chatting doo-doo and whatever, but people don't make the correlation to say that's the end of the session, or that's like not even the session, they're just in the studio during that time that they're filming.
It becomes a part of the studio rather than the creativity.
Exactly. It's the environment, it's what's expected to go there, and you're assumed you're going to get a drink, you know you're going to drink some alcohol, you know there's going to be weed present, you know there's going to be some level of like unprofessionality, because people are there thinking it's fun, but it's my job. And I think that's a distinction that actually really needs to be made in the music industry. Yeah. Very, very badly.
So how do you think they could go about changing those things, or how would you go about changing those things?
I think studios need regulations in the same way that other workplaces have them.
Like the film industry?
Like the film industry, exactly. As much as you may want to be like high on set, if you're smoking a zoo during a like film, it's fake, it's a prop. But if it's a music video, they are really high. There's a whole difference. The music industry is, well, or at least not on the small scale, because I know if you're in like big labels and such, they will have prop money and prop drugs or whatever for the music video, but
from the ground
up, people don't even know that. So if they don't even know that, they're like, oh yeah, I have to trap and get all of this money, and I'm going to have all of my money spread out on the table. And I've literally been at video shoots where someone has gone, who stole my money? And I was like, you brought several £1,000s of your actual money around people you don't know. It's not prop money, that's your real money. That's your, like, people are not thinking because they just want to look like they live the lifestyle. And for one, the lifestyle is not that good. I don't think people know that.
That's been bred into us since the 90s hip hop.
Yeah. 90s hip hop and 90s pop, 90s R&B, the whole integration. R&B was just as bad. It was the integration of music and fashion. I think that's where the real intersection of like things started getting problematic. Sexualization, because at the same time as you've got the hip hop and R&B people being the influencers of that time, you've got the Michael Kors and whoever else not coming up, and they're trying to be the most innovative designer. So they're getting the biggest celebrities to dress in their most innovative outfit, and it goes from something that's a piece of art, like a beautiful gown like what Marilyn Monroe wore, to the skimpiest outfit, the thing that can be the most revealing or the most like,
that's the problem,
shock factor. Everything's about shock factor. What's going to make people go
yeah,
instead of like, wow.
Do you think from a woman's perspective that women also use that to their advantage the way men are using the same thing?
Absolutely. I think it wasn't as popular to do, and then women started realizing that on social media especially, you are like gifted for being dumb and pretty. Just
if you reveal yourself,
exactly. I've been on live sitting like this and talking about music and had someone be like, open your legs. Excuse me I am on live talking about, it's just but then someone else will, you understand, or someone else will be like, oh, let me tease it because
get something more,
but people will pay you like, oh, I'll send you $5, open your legs, I'll do this. And it's the world has become like this crazy stage.
It really has.
It's become a really crazy stage, and I think it's really like, it's dangerous. It's just dangerous, especially for the young women, for the young men, for everyone on the internet and seeing.
I think there's a lot of the media that shows you how women have things bad, but I think there's a lot of men that would say that they also suffer just as bad.
I'd say definitely there's a like dichotomy to everything, isn't there? I can only ever speak from the experiences of a woman, but I do have a lot of male friends, and I know a lot of them also deal with the trying to like live up to this fantasy version of yourself, and it's always who's the biggest man, who's the most masculine, who can lift the most weights, who can eat the least macros or whatever that stuff. I don't understand that stuff. I'm like, if you don't do that, then you're not a man, and if you don't have these certain items, or you don't dress like this, you're not a woman, and or you're not whatever because you're trans. It's just, the world is just trying to fit everybody into these itty bitty little boxes, and no one can fit. So we all feel terrible. Like no one feels good.
Another reason I do this is because I feel like the world needs to know that we're not that different. It doesn't make a difference if you're an artist, if you're a religious priest, if you know, a homeless guy on the street. Most of us want the same things. We want safety, we want warmth, we want love. You know, there's not many more things that all of us as humans want, and those little boxes tend to make us hate each other for no reason.
Exactly, but that's the whole point, to keep everyone separate and make everyone feel like we're all different, which is crazy because, like you said, we all want the same thing inherently. We all bleed the same colour, if we want to go down that like typical thing that people say, but it's true. Like, we are all like collective consciousness, we're all connected by the same thing and the same lack of knowledge of the thing. None of us know, so why are we all fighting? That's what I don't understand. None of us know what's actually real from what's not, or what's right, like in terms of religion or in terms of like morally. In one place someone might think that something is okay, and in another place it's not okay to do that thing. Like if I was like this in a Muslim country, that's a problem because I'm not dressed moderately.
But how is that okay there, but it's not okay, you know?
But because it's
Doesn't
how
make sense,
people...
does it?
No, it doesn't. But I think it's because, again, of the boxes, everyone being put in boxes where it's like, okay, this is the standard of a good woman. In Islam, the standard of a good woman is one thing. In Christianity, the standard of a good woman is another thing. If you're not religious, does that mean that you don't understand the standard of a good woman? Or does that mean... do you know what I mean? Yeah. I'm just like...
Well, I think some people think that.
Some people do think that.
In those ideologies.
In all ideologies, regardless. I think people think anyone who's different from them is wrong. It's just simple. I will, in music, be like, oh, that bass line is wrong. I might be wrong myself, or there is no right or wrong. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And well, there is in terms of like, don't kill people. We get that. But even then, but artistically, there's no right or wrong. This is all expression.
Yeah.
So I think that sometimes even myself needs to get my head out my own butt and be able to be like, no, someone did that for a reason. That felt right to them. It may not feel right to me. It may not resonate with me, but I'm just going to resonate with at least like this much of the many billion people that exist in this world. So yeah,
sometimes people don't get artists until it's too late. That's the problem.
We're ahead of our time on purpose.
You have to be.
Yeah, and I think that is one of the downfalls of being an artist, is you are bound to be misunderstood. You're bound to say something and people take it way out of context, or you'll write a song and everyone will sing the wrong lyrics for 20 years. Then one day you'll hear them live and be like, oh, that's what they said. Oh, that's crazy. Because it's all down to like interpretation and just how you perceive things. That's all we have as humans, is our own perception of things. So yeah, it's a lot. But this wasn't what you were expecting today.
I just like a good chat. That's
Me
literally
too.
all I have set questions, but wherever it goes, it goes. That's the beauty of it.
Yeah, for sure.
So put it back there. Who are they?
Oh, the they. Who are the they? I guess it depends on who you ask. In my opinion, the they are the billionaires. The they are the people who looked at the entire world and said, how can I commodify this? And how can I make humans less than? Like, how can we treat people like puppets, essentially? That's been the goal for God knows how many years now, because I'm not in a powerful position and I don't understand why people want it in the first place. Like, I just think that people just power, but I don't understand. I don't know if it's like
control.
Yeah, but why? Because this is, I think maybe because I'm neurodiverse, or maybe because I'm like on the poverty line like everyone else. But I don't know if it's like, I don't get.
Do you think these people understand the poverty line? Do you think?
Absolutely not. Like, if you're a billionaire, you probably didn't make the majority of that money by yourself. Like,
you definitely ate today.
You know, and you definitely ate today. You probably ate more than I can imagine today. Things that I've never even heard of today, and it cost more than my house. Like, that's the life. But then even still, why do we even have something that would cost that much? Everything trickles down to all these weird spaces where I'm like, what's the original like motivation for it? And how did that singular motivator manage to convince so many other people to carry on, to like push this agenda forward, or whatever it is that they have got in store for us? I don't understand it, and I spend a lot of my time actually trying to figure that side of things out.
What do you think the agenda is, if there is one?
I have no idea. I genuinely, that's the stuff that'll keep me up at night. Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, the rabbit hole.
Yeah, the rabbit hole. Like, is it a prison planet? If so, who put us here? Like,
aliens on Mars.
Like, aliens are here. They're in the ocean. Like, I'm the one who definitely. My boyfriend says I wear tinfoil earrings, because yeah, I'm one of them who's like, space is water, water is space. Do your research, find it out. Like, there's just so much that we don't know, and I know that there's a lot that is known that isn't told to us, and I wonder why. Because what's so powerful about that information that we don't know it? Or what's so dangerous about that information that we don't know it? And is it dangerous for us, or is it dangerous for them?
Who's got the right to know that information?
We all do?
Surely.
Yeah. Like, there's no information that shouldn't be free to know, like, at all, especially if it's something that's done research wise for the public. Like, I understand something like GDPR. Okay, cool. Keep my details safe because you don't want people committing fraud. Fine. But in the grand scheme of things, if there was a Bible from 50,000 years ago dug up in Ethiopia, why is that not printed for everyone to see? Why is that something that is kept hidden and wrapped in away from the world? What's so important in there that the masses can't know? And who's to say that we can't know? Like, who is in charge of this stuff?
We should all know that information.
Exactly. We should all be able to access all of the available information. That's the whole point of it being here. Like, burning libraries and all sorts just to like stop the passage of information is crazy. But that's
been happening for hundreds of years.
Exactly, because information is power, but then we don't know what that power leads to because they have stopped us from having the information. So it's a just crazy cycle that we're kind of stuck in. But I think the more we listen to the crazy people, the more that you actually start to, you can put things together and be like, something that you said there makes perfect sense.
It's funny that there was a lot more crazy people before COVID.
Oh yeah.
And then when everything started to like reveal itself, there seemed to be less and less crazy people around.
Yes, because people can have pattern recognition, and I think that is wildly underestimated by like the mass, whoever's in charge. They don't realize that if you are completely marginalizing people and they don't have much else to do, we're going to sit and look at what's going on and be like, that don't make sense, that don't make sense, that don't make sense. Wait a minute, how is all of this connected? We have the time to do that, and there's a lot more of us than there are of them. So when we start actually passing that kind of information around, then people start to...
I think that's what people need to realise, is there's more of us collectively.
Yeah. I think people know and are comfortable. Comfort is like the enemy, to be honest. No one wants to have fear of losing their home. No one wants to have fear of losing their job. No one wants to have fear of being cancelled and blah, blah, blah. Everyone's just scared. They're just scared to get in trouble for speaking about life and the reality of how we, as the little people, are treated by the big people. It just doesn't make any sense. The more we talk about it, the more we can actually come together and maybe do something, or at least be able to stand firm on what we all believe in together. Right now it's just separation and arguments. That's the way that they can keep everyone where they want them, innit?
Yeah, I think so. I think the divide is intentional.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, without a doubt. But it's up to us as the people who are divided to look at it and go, that's not really a thing to be divided on. Or, in fact, educate me on your thing. That's literally as easy as it can be. The people who are of different religions, different belief systems should all be able to sit in a room together with no argument, because it doesn't matter what I believe. It doesn't matter what I think or who I think put us here. Truly, it matters that we're all here. So what do we do now?
What do we do
exactly
now?
What do we do now? Like, why are we so focused on the external that we can't see and can't prove, when what we can see and can prove is that you and I are the same? We are both people. We are both affected by everything that happens. By life, by the system, by our needs. One thing my gran said to me the other day was, we are slaves to our bodies. And I was like, yes, but no. Like, we are slaves to our bodies in a sense of, we need to feed them and like clothe them so we don't freeze to death and all of that. But at the same time, our bodies are just our vessels. There's just the thing that our actual selves use to communicate with this plane, this land of frequencies. So we're not, if anything, our bodies are our cages. That's what keeps us here in this place. But then there must be a reason for us being here in this place. And if not, it doesn't change the fact that we are. So it still leads back to, well, what we're going to do now, since we're all here. Are we going to do it right? Are we going to live a good life and enjoy the like fruits of nature? Or are we going to fight over things that we've put value on, even though they're not actually valuable in any way, shape or form. Like,
most things in society nowadays aren't.
Yeah, most things are not valuable at all. Value needs to get taken back to when value meant like it sustains your existence. Like, my house is valuable because it keeps me warm, but my TV is not valuable. It's just something that is there to entertain me. That should be of zero value whatsoever. What I have to say is of value because it's not going to come out of any other person's mouth. Same way what you have to say is of value because it's never going to come out of anyone else. That's only from you. So I think we need to really reevaluate where we put or what we like consider important from, you know, all of this. If I didn't have any of this equipment behind me, I'd still make music. I would find a way with pots and pans,
it's the
with my hands.
Music, and you can make it from anything.
Exactly. It's the true universal language. Like I said, it's inherently nature. Birds sing, like dolphins hum. Everything inherently makes beautiful sound. And we heard that as humans and said, ooh, how do we emulate that? Or how do we do something similar? We took the skin of the goats and the oxes that we killed for dinner and we strummed them over some wood and we pop, pop, pop. And all of a sudden we've got beautiful sound and ways to communicate with each other over long distances. Like, it's amazing what humans can do when we actually are in tune with nature, but we are never. So we're consistently seeing people like lost to psychosis and being literal like narcissists and sociopaths because they have no connection to what it is to be a actual human. Like, I don't recall hearing about sociopaths in tribal countries anywhere in the world. Like, who's the sociopath there? No one, because they're just actually living life and hunting for food and looking after their young and being normal humans.
Yeah, they had leaders, but there was leaders, not...
Leaders actually voted in by people who genuinely care and can see that that person has the skill set to lead. Simple. If you don't have the skill set to lead, you can't lead. And so you don't. Instead, you're the guy who cuts the grass or you're the guy who weaves the baskets with the ladies. Like, everybody has the thing that they're really good at. And in a lot of societies, especially like Eastern societies and things, people live their lives by the idea of the thing that they're good at, the thing that they feel called to do. Like, that is something that I really wish we adopted more over here. Like, imagine just knowing that you can wake up every day and do the thing that you feel literally called to do, and no one's going to be like, that's not going to pay you, that's not going to feed you. Okay, but we should be able to just eat. Like, that's just like, what do you mean? This shouldn't feed me. Like, the world that exists around me should feed me.
You. I agree.
Like,
yeah,
that's it. It's crazy. I find the world that we live in absolutely nuts.
One of my questions for religious people is, what do you think God would think of Tesco?
So I'm not actually religious, I'm spiritual, but I do believe that something, exactly, the creator. I think that we would be being laughed at. I think we'd be absolutely being laughed at, and also like, I don't know how to explain what this face is, but I'd just be like, what? You mean to tell me I gave you everything you can imagine to heal all ailments, to nourish you when you are hungry, to make sure that you are warm, comfortable and thriving, and instead you chop it down, commodify it, put it into plastic, which is destroying the same planet that I gave to you, and then sell it at a premium to people who can't afford it? That makes no sense. And then, okay, like, I actually have a thing against Tesco's, no offense Tesco's, but like, even with the like club card prices and things like that,
other brands are available.
Yes, yeah. I mean, just grow your own food, learn to grow your own food, like, or learn to forage.
But we're disconnected from that as well, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. Like, there's no reason why I should be able to like tell several colours apart. I can tell you the difference between like magnolia and cream, but I can't tell you the difference between a leaf that is safe for me to eat and a leaf that's not. That's crazy.
Which should have been bred into us
from birth.
Millions of years ago.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And at one point was, but then you start school systems and things like that, and then you're taught that there's different types of leaves, and that's the end of it. But yeah, there's different types of leaves. There's deciduous trees and there's evergreens and okay, and then can I eat from them? Are they going to do anything? Have they got any like magical powers? Pine, like where do we know the things about our actual land, like the actual land that we come from and are born, well, but go back to eventually at the end of it all, like.
Yeah, it's a cycle, isn't it?
And we're aware of that, but yet somehow along the cycle there's a disconnect, which I don't understand, but is definitely there.
Do you think the disconnect from Earth is one of the causes of anxiety, depression, mental health?
Absolutely. Because the real causes of it, at least if for me, myself, suffering from those things, I find that it's trying to fit into the system. It's trying to like wake up every day at stupid o'clock in the morning, spend 9 hours of my day, 9 to 10, because let's not forget the commute, of my day doing something for somebody else and getting very little benefit from it. And if the benefit is supposed to be money, that's not working out in today's society, is it?
Because the problem with money is you just give it back.
You just give it back. You've given me all this money I've worked really hard for, and then I gotta pay for my electric, then I gotta pay for my phone, because I absolutely have to have a phone in 2025, because you can't survive. You can't not. If I don't have internet, I can't do anything. And that's not because I don't want to, it's because I literally have no connection to the outside world now, because everything is interwoven into these systems that are expected. But if you don't have the money, guess you're disconnected.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Like, no one would know how to even talk to a pigeon to make it send a letter now. I like, if I needed a carrier pigeon.
Yeah. There's very few of them guys.
But they used to just be the regular birds.
Yeah.
Like, we used to just know things, and I don't understand why. This is why I said innovation is the actual like problem with humans. At one point we just said, you know what, no, we're not going to do that, that's long, this is faster, but also that is unconnected and false, and you made that yourself, and that's cute, like it's fine that you made a mailbox or had whatever it is that was made to replace the carrier pigeons, but now we don't have that. So we have to be able to weigh up the like risks of the decisions that we make, and I think very rarely do we actually do that, or very rarely do we listen to the people in the back that are screaming, hey, if you do that, we're going to have this as a problem, like global warming.
They're always deemed crazy, aren't they?
Yeah, until the thing happens, and then all of a sudden it's, oh, this person was right, and then it's justice for this person who's been locked up in the insane asylum for the last 25 years because they were right, and like, humans. What can I say?
I didn't expect to come here for this conversation.
No, I know.
I got the artist sheet ready and the conspiracy ones at home.
Unfortunately, fortunately, I guess for me, this is what my mind thinks about all the time, and like,
I think a lot of people are though.
Yeah,
I really do.
More people are sitting here like, then
what's going on?
What's going on? My TikTok feed is full of people around the world being like, help.
Yeah.
And I'm like, go outside, get offline, go outside, smell some grass, like pick something, see if it makes you itch. If it doesn't, great, you might be able to eat it. There's like a whole test you can do to know if something's edible. I learned about it because, again, my conspiracies and like it's really like, you would never guess from the songs I write, because everything is like love and like maybe a little bit of a this man hurt my feelings, but it's because this is it's so big. How do you put it into like a song?
Yeah.
How do you put it into a song that you can then commodify? Because that's really the real problem.
I think those type of songs don't make money. I mean, you know, if you look at some great activist music, it's not mainstream music
at all, because then that's gonna make people then maybe like revolt or something, and they don't want that. But realistically, yeah, that's the music that eventually I'd love to get to the point where I feel really comfortable to just write a song about how the ocean and the space are the same thing to me. Like, that would be great, but at the same time, I still have the fear. We've all got it. I don't want people to be like, oh, she's actually not okay. I'm like, no, I am. Read a book. But at the same time, there's like this whole thing. No one wants to fall outside of the normality. Everyone wants to like.
I think, like you said before, people are scared of losing homes, jobs, money, income. You know, they're scared to open their mouth because they don't want to lose anything.
Exactly, but. A lot of things aren't worth doing if there's not kind of something to lose at the other end of it. Like, so what? You'll get another one. I think that's something I just kind of have had to live by, because life hasn't been easy. Like, I think a lot of people who know me would look at me and be like, oh yeah, she's been fine. She just went from here to here to here and here. And I'm like, no. Actually, I went from here to here, and then like kind of stayed down there for a really long time, but because I know how to put on a good face and go outside and smile, it was like, oh yeah, Lyriqe's fine.
So tell me more about those times.
Well, I was in a very abusive marriage. I got married when I was 19, just after my mom died, and then I had my daughter from that marriage, and that was horrid. But there was a whole time during that time where I was really constantly on stage. People really started to know who I was and started like hearing my name, but then people were in my business but without asking me like no questions. So if they saw me talking to a man during a time where me and my husband had broken up again, or talking to anyone, it was always like, oh, Lyriqe's like this and Lyriqe does that, and I'm like, oh well, I'm going home to get my ass beat, so I don't really know why you guys are out here not asking me if I'm okay. Like, maybe I am drinking too much, but maybe I'm drinking too much because I'm like not all right, bro. Like, do you know what I mean? And there was a lot of
getting abused back at home.
Oh, it was horrible. I had a really, really tough marriage. Me and him are on a lot better terms now, but he himself had like severe PTSD from just gang life and all of that kind of stuff, and it really affected me because I was young and he was like 6 years older, kind of trying to do his thing in the music scene as well, and in the like gang scene or whatever he was trying to do. And people who are in that life are angry. They're notoriously really, really angry. There's a lot going on. And sometimes that kind of gets taken out on the closest person to them.
Unfortunately.
So I did have to deal with that. Unfortunately for him, I fight back. So it wasn't.
I'm glad you do.
We had a lot of tussles, and eventually it got to the place where we broke up, and there was like a restraining order and everything. But it's been like eight years or something since all of that. So now we're on better terms. He's got some help for his like rage issues, and is finally outside of being in the like gang life and that. So it's
good.
Nice to see him progress. It's just hard to be around him and hard to be around people that were around during that time that made assumptions and didn't ask if I was okay, or didn't ask any singular question, but instead decided to talk to everybody about me. Like, that's been really tough, just as someone who then stepped away from that and found it hard to even like go shopping because I didn't know what I liked. I didn't know what I liked to eat. I didn't know anything because I come out of my mom's house into a marriage, into the world as a mom, so I didn't have time to be Leah. So it was like, how do I maneuver this? How do I do this? I've had to learn mostly by myself. Thank God for my siblings and my dad while he was still here, but it's been a learning curve for me. I didn't have friends who had children before me. I was the first one to get married and do all the things, so everyone looked at me and was like, is that what happens that's what happens when you get married? It was like, no, that's what happened when I got married. That's not what happens generally in life to everyone. But I learned a lot from it in terms of myself, what I can do, what I can't do, how strong I am as well, like not just physically, because but how actually how much mental fortitude that I've built over the years, from just life being difficult, growing up with parents that were immigrants but doing their absolute best and absolutely ate it up, but had their own mental struggles and fights to deal with. I've come a long way, and I'm really proud of that, but there was a lot to overcome that a lot of people will just never really truly know the depths of, but that's also okay now. It just wasn't for a long time. For a long time I was like, ask me! And now I'm just like, actually don't. It's fine. Don't worry about it. You're going through it. You'll be fine. Come get a hug. And it's kind of, I've managed to position myself as the person who can help people, because I know what that thing's like most of the time. I can be like, yep, been there, done that, know that. Okay, cool. This is what you do. Or yeah, this is going to be hard for a while, but you're going to be okay at the end of it. Trust me. I know, because I've been there. So yeah, I was upset about life for a long time, and I've come to the point where I'm a lot like, cool, I can use this, I can run with this, and it can actually help not just other people but me. I'm healing my like inner me.
So do you think if you wouldn't have gone through those things, you wouldn't have been who you are today?
Absolutely. I know for a fact that there are a few things that I would be outrageous doing if I didn't go through a lot of those things, because I've always been a person who goes where the wind blows. Like, if it looks fun over there, yeah. I'm gonna go over there. That looks fun. Oh, that looks dangerous. But also, like, my danger to fun, like, meter wasn't great, because as long as the danger is not too far above the fun, I'm still gonna go. Like, it can clearly be dangerous, but I was like, yeah, let me jump into that. I think that's just the dopamine seeking of being ADHD in it. But and now that I have a child, specifically, mostly having her has made me have to really look at the decisions I make and the why behind it. Because if I'm just bored, I can end up in some trouble because I'm just bored. I'm like, how did I get here? Oh, well, my child's not with me. She's with her dad. And I have some money and I'm bored in my house. So let me go outside. And now all of a sudden it's 5 o'clock in the morning. I don't know where I am. So, yeah, those experiences definitely made me more aware and more like, all right, let me put my own life, like, in the forefront. Let me actually care about my own self and my own, like, safety and my own, like, progression. So yeah, I had to go through those things to understand the need for that and discipline, because I didn't have any whatsoever.
So you had to learn the hard way.
Yeah, I did. ADHD and autism presents differently in loads of different people, but for me it presents as chaos. It's like I'm absolutely chaotic a lot of the time, so having certain things in place like working or having my daughter keeps me structured, and it means that I can kind of be like, all right, I can go a little bit up, but I can't go too high up because something's going to be like, oh, you got to do this though. So it's a nice little like flow rather than the like mania like depression cycle, excuse me, that happens a lot of the time with us. Like, it's very normal.
Explain a bit more. How do you suffer with it?
Executive dysfunction is a like terrible thing. I find starting things really difficult, and then I find stopping things really difficult once I've started. My time perception's awful. I never know like how long I've been doing something for, ever. I get so easily distracted by most things. It's literally, if the curtains were open now and a bird flew past, I would have been, ooh, what's that? Like, I'm terrible for this kind of stuff. But also I think it feeds me. Like, all of that, like, easily distracted by the lights and the noise and the this and that, I've learned through mostly masking, to be honest. But I've learned how to, like, pick the things. Like, I do music because I can hear really well, so being able to engineer is one of those things that I can zone it in, and like, I don't know how to explain it, it's really weird, but until you zone in, everything's loud, like everything's really loud, everything's really bright, and as soon as you're like it's like everything
magnify.
Yeah, it's like everything kind of blurs around the thing, and I'm just in that
zone.
Yeah, really in the zone, immersed in it. So yeah, I find that there's the negative sides where if I'm outside and I don't have headphones, I will probably have a meltdown. Like I've often not left my house because I don't have headphones and I can't stand the sound of outside. But then as soon as I've got them on, I don't even need music. I just need like the
just to
mask the sound, just to like dampen the sound a little bit, because I hear everything all the time. So yeah, it's one of those things that everyone who suffers has their different thing that will kind of like spark them. Someone who with what's it called, aphantasia, where you hear things and see colors.
Oh yeah.
Like magical. That's something that I don't have that. I can say like maybe it's like
Pharrell.
Yeah, I think they see like actual colors, but I don't know how to explain what I see. It's something, but it's more like seeing a vibe. It's like seeing the feeling rather than seeing the actual
like a hum.
Colors. It's like you know, like if you close your eyes
like
and
a pulse.
Yeah,
okay.
like pulsating, but I couldn't tell you what color that thing is that's pulsating. It's just like doing it. So yeah, it's
does that change through the process of creativity?
Yeah, but more like where it sits rather than like what it's doing. It's always doing this, but it's like if I'm working in high frequencies, we're up here. If I'm working in mid frequencies, we're down here. If I'm working in low frequencies, we're down here. And that's kind of my way of like interpreting it.
Okay.
But yeah, when I'm talking to my partner about it, I'm always talking about music in like a spherical sense, because the way that I see it is like the frequencies are moving around in this sphere of space, but there are still confines to it, but there's so much inside of that like bubble at the same time. So yeah, one of those
interesting
strange little things that I guess my brain just kind of creates in order for me to create and like translate the world into art. So yeah,
that's all we're trying to do though, isn't it? Translate something we can't put into words.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly, like I said earlier, I'm not emotions and stuff like that, words wise, I am lacking most of the time. But as soon as you give me a pen and paper or give me a paintbrush and I'm here, well, I can get it out. But just talking or trying to really find the right words, maybe it's because I speak English, like there's probably words in plenty of languages that can explain certain feelings that we just don't have the words for. But while I don't have them, create instead.
I think that's the best thing we can do as humans, to be honest, is create new things. But how far do we go?
That's the thing, how far do we go? Where do we find the people that we entrust with the job of saying that's enough? Like, that's enough. Okay, that's great. We've got iPhone 75. That's enough now. You guys are banned from making any more iPhones. We've got enough. Like, we need someone to be able to be like,
your head.
Honestly, we're gonna get there. We've got the glasses now, and we've got all the like. It's crazy. Someone does need to be like, all right, cool, you did that, but like, why?
Just calm down a bit.
But like, yeah, let's calm down. Why do we have a robot that is my best friend? Honestly, I love GPT, and I don't want to, but I do because like it's really helpful.
I've never used it.
Don't. You'll get addicted. It's dangerous. Like, it's because it's trained to feed your ego. Essentially, it's gonna. If you say to it, "Am I the asshole for XYZ?" It's gonna be like, "Of course not. Maybe this was a bit harsh, but you have every right to say the thing you said." Oh, no, I called Anthony an asshole because he woke up this morning. I actually had no reason to be mean to him. Like, don't tell me I'm not problematic because you're a robot who's trained to tell me I'm not problematic.
So you think that's going to feed a lot of egos in the future?
It already has.
Oh, okay.
There's so many studies about people who are going through GPT psychosis because they are falling in love with it or believing that they are the new coming of Christ because GPT is basically feeding into their delusion. So, yeah. I
think a lot of religions can do that. A lot of TV can do that.
Absolutely. Everything where a group mentality is put upon you to believe like this is the way or this is the thing can indoctrinate people like that instantly. If a whole lot of little boys watch a show of a boy acting in a certain way, there's a high likelihood that 75% of those boys are going to think that is boy, I do that. The same way with little girls. We see moms pushing babies, we get baby dolls and da-da-da-da, and we think by the time we're 15 that I have to be a mother. No, you don't. Like, you actually don't have to do that, but because that's what you've been told, that's what you've seen, and every TV show, every movie, every teen show is about a young girl falling in love and da-da-da-da. That's just what you're now taught. That's what you're expected to do now, because that's what
it seems like it's pushed in that direction.
Everything is. And
unfortunately.
We're taught different things as men and women. Like, if you watch something that's generally like pushed at boys and something that's generally pushed at girls, they're speaking two different languages.
Yeah.
And they're literally being like, man do this, girl do this, but don't talk to a man if he doesn't do this. But then really the thing that they're telling you to talk to is like problematic. A man that you've told no 7 times but will like follow you home and in the rain and throw stones at your window and be like, but I love you,
yeah,
but I'm scared of you. Like,
well, that's why I'd said to you a couple of times on message, as long as you're comfortable,
yeah,
I'll meet you, because as a man as well at the moment in this world, it's a little bit hard to be trusted in certain circumstances.
Absolutely. And
like I said, we do suffer with things as well,
yeah,
which are portrayed through the media, which aren't necessarily true.
Exactly. Yeah. I think I do feel really bad for men, for the majority of men, because it really is not all men.
Don't get me wrong.
There's a lot of terrible women too. There's a lot of terrible people, and I think when we stop really being like, man did this and woman did this, we might actually get somewhere.
Yeah.
Like, I very much would still choose the bear. Don't get it twisted. I'll choose the bear every time. Men scare me. They do. But at the same time, I wouldn't have any understanding of men if I grew up in today's society.
No.
I'd be completely like in the Delulu land with all the little Gen Z girls who are like, oh, if he doesn't have £10,000 a month, I'm not going to talk to him. Babes, you're 15. Where do you think a 15-year-old man is getting that? Like, he's not even a man yet.
Yeah.
He doesn't have that kind of money, and if he does,
there's grown men that ain't got that.
Do you know what I mean? Most people don't have that. Like, I think the world is, especially social media, there's Netflix and all of that. It's just pushing the same, like, ridiculous narratives, but in 2 separate spaces. Like, I don't understand the whole red pill thing, but I know there's a lot of like misogynistic stuff that happens online. But then on the flip side, there's also Shira 7, who is like famous for telling women to use men for money.
Exactly.
So there's like I said, there's dichotomies to everything. There's 2 sides to everything, and the people who are really pushed in our faces generally are the ones who are pushing the extreme sides of behaviors and like, this is the way you should be, and causing damage, like deep damage to society. So, yeah. I
agree. I think there's a lot of things that most of our kids shouldn't even be seeing.
1,000%.
They shouldn't know these things. You know, we didn't know these things.
Yep. YouTube. They need to really work on their regulations.
It's a fantastic place and a scary place at the same time, isn't it? It's a weird world we're living in.
Again, it's just things that need certain regulations put in place. Children's content on YouTube really shouldn't be made by adults.
No.
It shouldn't. I see no reason why. Like, sometimes my daughter will watch a video and I'll hear a song from when I was young come up in the video, and it'll be really like, if you know any more than that line of the song, that song is very inappropriate, but they've used one line because it applies to the thing that they're doing in the video, and they don't realize doing that. If my child gets addicted to one line of a song, she's gonna go listen to the song, and then all of a sudden you've now taught her, shake your ass, watch yourself. She's 8.
Yeah.
I don't want her doing that.
No, of course
like,
not.
What are we doing? And people aren't thinking of it because they're just like, this is gonna get me views.
It's all about the views, and
it's all about the views and the followers, and no one is thinking about the like implications of their actions when it comes to stuff like that. Also, I don't think children should be in the entertainment industry, full stop, period. But I understand that you need to entertain children. Don't just make cartoons like they used to when we were young. Like, that was the extent of me seeing an actual real child on TV was like in a movie where they had a baby, or maybe like a really young kid that said 3 lines and then we never saw them again. Or cartoons of children that were voiced by grown people who could pretend to put on kid voices. And then all of a sudden, now there are actual children, like little superstars. Ryan's World is, my daughter used to love watching him. I've watched Ryan from when he was like 2, that he's like 15 now. And I'm like, I know this whole little boy's life. I've seen them move house multiple times, but yeah, because of the kids, because you've commodified your children for internet. And there's not really much benefit to my child watching it, because all she takes from it is, Mummy, can I have that toy? Mummy, can I have that toy? Mummy, can I have that toy? Mummy, how come I don't have that one? Mummy, how come Ryan gets all the...
It's just more consumption.
It's just more consumption. All that they've done is take the kids and make other kids pester their parents. So yeah, the world's a crazy place, and we could sit here for hours going on about the state of it all. But
definitely. So if you could go back to a younger you, say 8 years old, what would you say to yourself?
Take time. I would say take time. You absolutely are exactly who you think you are, and don't let people tell you any different. And that sounds like really like a typical Leo thing to say, but 8-year-old me definitely did that one, because yeah, weren't fun at 8, but it's fun now at 29. It's a lot more fun.
So what piece of advice that you've received through your life would you pass on to the next generation?
Oh, that's a great question. Don't argue with fools. They will bring you down to their level and beat you with experience. It will keep you calm for your entire life. For your entire life. I actually live by that, because rage. That has taught me how to let a lot go. So yeah, don't argue with fools, people.
Okay. Nice one. And where do you see yourself in 5 years?
In 5 years, I would like to have my company up and running. It's called School of Independence. It's working with people who are in the music industry, women, queer people, to create safe spaces. So in the next 5 years, I would like to have some sort of like label situation where I'm not keeping people under any sort of actual contracts, but you can stay with us for a year, 2 years, 3 years, and by the end of it, you will never need anyone again. Like, my goal is to make everyone in music self-sufficient, since they ain't helping us anymore.
That's a great goal.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time, and thank you for inviting me into your house as well.
Thank you for coming. This was amazing.
No problem.
Thank you so much.
Wish you all the best.
Thank you.
We're not that different. We're not defined by age or race. We're not that different in any time or any place, brother. Believe your hustle and your grind, sister. We need your voice, so don't be silent. Slide.